As you make progress through F1 2020 and push your skills to higher levels, you will crash a lot. Today, we can put an end to that. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well today. My name is PJ and today I'll show you how to stop crashing in F1 2020. We'll be looking at the various things you need to watch out for in order to avoid making contact with other cars, and detailing what you need to do in the most intense of racing scenarios. If you like this video and want to get better at racing games, you can subscribe for more tips and tricks, but for now, let's get started. The first and most important thing to grasp when avoiding crashes in F1 2020 is to ask yourself, how well do you understand your car? When a car spins out directly in front of you, you'll have almost no time to react due to the high-speed nature of Formula 1. However, with a solid understanding of what your car can do within this very short space of time, you can instinctively make the right moves to limit the damage or even avoid contact entirely. How quickly can my car go from one side of the road to the other? When I let off the throttle without braking, how quickly does my car slow down? If I slam the brakes, how easy is it to turn the car? If I lock the front wheels, what do I need to do to make the car turn again? To answer these questions and more, you need to try things out in a safe environment, like in free practice sessions or in time trial. This, combined with the many races you'll do across past, present and future racing games, will help you develop habits so that when the time comes, you won't need to think, you'll just respond. If you need help with the basics of driving a Formula 1 car, I have several guides available. I'll recommend a few at the end of this video. The next thing to consider when in traffic is how you position your car in relation to others, and what is likely to happen when you take risks in the heat of battle. Each car takes up a certain amount of space on the track, and in most scenarios this neatly splits the road into multiple lanes. How you approach a corner can vary depending on whether you're on the inside or outside, and whether or not there is another car beside you. Naturally, you don't want to place your car where another car may end up. Two cars obviously cannot occupy the same spot at the same time. This is why you need to leave space around you to account for any sudden changes in position from either car. For example, as you follow another car, you won't want to tuck in too closely behind them, especially as you get towards a braking zone. If the driver ahead were to brake early or brake suddenly, you have less time to react than if you kept your distance and you run straight into the back of them. Also, if you are attempting to overtake a car by using the inside line, you must consider what your opponent is likely to do and where their car is likely to be. If they don't see you, they may not know you're there and turn into you by accident. The key to safe battles with other cars is to make your intentions clear and to constantly be aware of their position at all times, which leads into our next topic. Maintaining focus when alone on track and trying to hit all of your reference points is a challenge, and that challenge can become terrifying when there are multiple cars around you. Fortunately, it's a challenge that can be easily overcome, however it does require you to be confident in your own driving ability first. When you first start out in F1 2020, you may be using all of your mental capacity or brain space to simply keep the car on the road. Over time, however, some of the mechanical aspects of driving a Formula 1 car become second nature, almost as if you're driving on autopilot. This frees up your mind to think about other things as you drive, which is a valuable skill to have in traffic. Let's start with the easy things first. You have a number of tools available to help you identify the cars you may not be able to see, such as the proximity arrows and your rearview mirror. By seeing where the cars are around you, you'll have a greater idea of where to place your own car in order to avoid accidents. Next, you need to consider where your eyes are looking in relation to the road ahead of you. It's normally a good idea to scan the environment a few car lengths ahead, especially in the corners. With experience, you'll be able to scan further and further ahead and see potential accidents long before they happen, giving you plenty of time to avoid them. You should also keep your eyes and ears open for warnings from race control and your engineer. If the yellow flag warning appears or lights start flashing, you know you're about to enter a danger zone, so pick out where the other cars are and react accordingly. Predicting the future is one of the most powerful skills you can pick up when racing in high pressure battles, and the next topic covers that in more detail. Before that though, hit the like button if you're learning something, and let me know in the comments how you're getting on with your races in F1 2020. By now, you have an understanding of your car, know where to place it and how to scan the road ahead. But what about the things you can't control? That's where a bit of foresight comes in. In a normal racing scenario, you can generally predict where another car is going to be, as its momentum will influence its future position. This is also true in moments of crisis when cars begin to lose control. The most common example of this is a driver unsettling their car and spinning. You'll likely be catching up to them and will have to choose what side to pass them on. Instead of avoiding where they are right now, you should be avoiding where they will be a second from now, so that your line doesn't cross theirs. To illustrate this, let's use an example. The driver ahead of me is currently on my right hand side, but runs wide and starts to spin his car towards the left. If I try to go to the left to avoid him, I'll likely pass him just as we're about to share the same space of road, leading to a crash. If I aim for where he is now, however, he won't be there when I reach that spot on the road, and I get by safely. Predicting the path for other cars largely comes down to two simple things: how fast they're going and where they came from. Sometimes the best course of action is to simply hold your normal line, whereas in other scenarios you have to take evasive action. While it's possible to avoid the vast majority of potential crashes in your favourite racing game, sometimes accidents happen despite your best efforts, especially in multiplayer. You could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, have no time to react, are tagged by a car you didn't see in time, or, unfortunately, another player intentionally tries to crash into you. All you can do in these scenarios is try your best to keep a safe distance, react when you can, and accept that sometimes crashes happen. There's no need to beat yourself up over it or throw a controller across the room, as over time your more calculated approach to racing will prevail. To help with that, brush up on the basics of overtaking with the guide on screen now, or take a look at another video from my channel on the left. In the meantime, thanks for watching, liking and subscribing, and I wish you the best of luck in your next race.